What is up, folks? Oh, happy Sunday for all of you guys over there hanging out, just waiting for Double Host to start. Probably out there somewhere, giving your opinion out for Mortal Kombat. I know lots of you guys talk shit. You know what? You guys suck. You guys have bad opinions. Okay? I hate you.
Man, I have been fighting left and right. The fight for my goddamn life over here.
Oh, I just come from Mortal Kombat fan. Me and Alan are both Mortal Kombat fans, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you guys are not cool like us. I apologize.
Look, at the end of the day, man, I'll give you guys a bone. If you're not a Mortal Kombat fan, yeah, you're not gonna like it, but, I mean, fuck, half y'all say that shit for fucking Marvel movies, so go fuck yourselves.
Exactly, yeah. You know, you guys, it's just not for you, man. It's just not for you. Yeah.
You know what? Read the comic. Play the games, then you'll get it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you gotta play all 12 games for you to... Man, I can't wait till Solidus brings his stupid ass in here. I'm gonna be like, hey, Solidus, hey, man, did you play the games? You're just a big, dumb, stupid dum-dum. You know what I mean? Yeah.
No, just use his words. You don't know what you clearly don't know what you're talking about. Get someone that's more informed.
Yeah, you gotta be more informed, man. If you don't agree with us, you're not informed enough, and therefore you're not allowed to even open that fucking stupid mouth of yours. How am I saying this one time at Bandcamp? Yes, that one time at Bandcamp, we all played the Mortal Kombat theme song because we have some good taste. But what is up, Mauricio? What's up, Ryan? What's up, Hollow Man? Hollow Man's actually never really in that YouTube chat, so it's cool to see you over there having, some time to be in there. I don't know what was I trying to say, Alan?
Just good you're in the YouTube chat, man.
Yeah,
that's all you gotta say.
I appreciate that, Hollow. Yeah, it's great. Marissa finished watching the rest of the Mortal Kombat review. I'm glad the chat tag has an equivalent of the Spill Lockout review. Man, yeah, Jed, bro.
No, the Spill Lockout review, no, that you can't top that shit, because I like halfway through that, it just goes from go fuck yourself.
I'm glad. Okay, can I talk about this, man? So, guys, look, history will say otherwise probably if you were to ask people that are involved in this. I have not. I don't know Tony Guerrero like that. I don't know Chris Cox like that. But I'm going to play some of the audio, and I'll play it low so you guys, it's not confusing with me and Alan talking while this is playing. But, yeah, I think Cyrus is being a dick during this.
He was drunk or something. He was drinking beforehand.
But still, though, that's not an excuse. Fuck that.
Oh no! What I mean is like that. I think he explained like on a different show a couple days later. He was having a bad day and he was drinking, so he just got really drunk, and that's why he kind of flipped out the way he did. Because it's not like people are like, oh, the Lockout review, but like the review is pretty tame, and then all of a sudden he just fucking yells at him. It was unwarranted. Where with us, it's a build. There's always a build. It's like a roller coaster. With them, it was a sudden drop. Like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, so people can probably hear in chat. Oh, what's going on with you? Oh, you're just like, what the fuck just happened?
Explain it.
Oh, okay. No, I thought you said that. I thought you said like something. What the fuck just happened? It sounded so authentic. I was like, wait, did something happen right now?
No. I was explaining like the review.
Okay, no, good job though. Shit, good fucking acting apparently. Fucking. But no, yeah, I felt that way too. I was like, what the fuck was going on? But at the same time, like even in the beginning, I was getting irritated because Corey would say something like, yeah, man, I felt like this movie wasn't so bad. I mean, he feels that way. He's like, you're wrong. It's like, okay, dude, shut the fuck up. Like, I'm talking here. You know what I mean? If it's going to be just a you're wrong fest, then I just won't fucking be on the review. Like, what the fuck, Which is what I feel versus our chat sometimes. I'm sorry, chat, but, like, you guys, sometimes you guys be fucking yelling at me. Like, I remember that Miles Morales review. I was just like, hey, guys, like, the Prowler, they did this character, and it's like, dude, he was like that, like, in the comics 30 years ago. You fucking dumb. I'm like, what does that have to do with the fucking Miles Morales? Like, they did it again. Like, I don't know. Yell at them for doing it again. Not me. I didn't make the fucking game. Like, but... So I mean, I feel like at that point, maybe Cyrus is a little bit wrong here, but Kohos, to be fair, Kohos just went off on his ass. Like, it took like 5 minutes, and he was like, okay, hold on, motherfucker, you stop you grunting around Corey's review, stop doing this, stop doing that.
Yeah.
And it was hilarious, but at the same time, though, yesterday's review, because Jed made some very valid points. I definitely, there's a lot of things I agree with Jed on. But there was no build-up. She attacked us. I am sorry, Jed, if you're watching, you attacked us.
Man, no. Don't you bring me down in your fucking boat. That is all him. I am not with this. You told her to speak, but you were giving her shit. You called her a bitch. You did all that shit. And then she just went... Yeah, you were giving her so much shit. I am not dealing with Jet's wrath again.
I'm telling you, man. We were talking about it. I was like, man, to be fair, more comments, whatever. And then Jet came in and was like, you dumb motherfucker. And I was scared. I was upset. And then, guys, you didn't even know about this. After the show, though, Jet was talking about, like, how, man, that Mortal Kombat movie's so bad. You must be fucking stupid. You like that movie. And then Alan was like, man, shut up, bitch. And I was like, what? I can't believe this. So,
if they tell the story... and he doesn't bring himself up a lot, you know it's bullshit. You know that he did some dumb shit. Because, like, when he tells a story that he's personally involved in, he blows it up to, like, he's the coolest guy in the world. So you're like, okay, that probably happened a little bit, but you're making it cooler than it is. If he tells a story that he's not there, it's 100% bullshit because he's trying to make someone else look bad.
Fuck you. That's 100%. You just fucking described yourself, dog. And
Ganja tells a story, none of it happened.
Okay, yeah, but
like most of it, he just made up.
He's literally changing the subject. He started bringing up Ganja. I'm talking about you.
No, I'm talking shit about myself. I'll tell you a story. I'll tell you every goddamn minute. So 6:03, this happened, but then 6:04, this happened. I'll go minute by minute.
I don't know about that, but here's the thing. When Roxy and Ganja and Jet are in this call, I'm going to ask them that. And we're going to do a fucking, like, verbal poll in this call. And I'm telling you, you're going to be outvoted,
A verbal poll in this call with 2 or 3 people.
Yeah.
No.
Wait, what's wrong? So the people that know you the most, they can't have their opinion? You got to have the chat do it so they can spend fucking channel points?
I don't vote in those polls.
I'm just telling you, the chat's going to use channel points just to make you right or whatever. I see the chat. You know, chat, I see what you fucking guys do.
The only reason you're not asking them is because you think that.
They don't know you well enough to know that.
They don't know you well enough either.
They know me. I talked about my dick on this show.
Oh, fuck.
God damn it. All right, asshole. But here's the thing with Mortal Kombat. I still love this movie. I watched it a little bit more with my mom this morning, so I'm starting to do that thing I was making fun of Allie for about the whole, like, watching Justice League 4 times. I've watched this probably about 3, almost 4 times now. Still love it. Still like it. But the chat and everyone, like, in the Double Toes community, everyone's putting out, like, full-on reviews to the point where, like, the last time I saw this happen, which is pretty sad in itself, last time I saw this happen was with Cuties. Where, like, everyone felt like they had to be a critic and go watch the shit. It's like...
Yeah, it just feels like at the end of the day, like, all I'm going to say is it just feels like people are being unfair to the movie. Like, they're scrutinizing it more than I ever see anybody scrutinize anything. It's like when a Marvel movie comes out and it's like Falcon and the Winter Soldier just had their season finale. And I have a lot of issues with it. I legitimately just didn't think it was particularly good.
Shit. Did you see Jen in chat right there? Ooh, man, you're wrong.
I was on your side, Jen. Don't yell at me. But at the end of it, it's like I felt like there's a lot of issues, a lot of criticisms. But then I saw people saying, it's okay. Oh, you know what? Yeah, like people were apologizing for it. Mm-hmm. But then I see the same people will just go like so hard, so fast into Mortal Kombat, and it's like. I think that it's like that they're holding it on such a pedestal because they put the first one on such a pedestal. Not everyone's doing this, but I'm seeing people like criticize this so harshly that it's like when I see a Marvel movie comes out, people just let it go. Where I'm like, I'm not saying every Marvel movie has the same problem this does, but like there are issues in Winter Soldier has the same problem this does with like the lack of characters. Like that's 6 hours, and they still have some issues where Winter Soldier barely gets any development. Like. Yeah. There are issues in a lot of stuff, but like this is just getting overly criticized.
Yeah, overly criticized to the point where it's like these things like because people are not wrong in their criticism. Like there's one where people are like, man, like I always forget what it's called, but the Arma, whatever the fuck it's called,
Arcana, yeah.
Yeah, it's like that show made no sense. And dude, like they're not wrong. It doesn't make sense, but like they're trying to explain why they have superpowers, and they all have superpowers, guys. Like. What like I want to see someone do a review where they explain what they would have done to explain superpowers. Like,
well, even then, like, look, did that have as much explanation as I wanted? No, of course not. But it's at the end of the day, it's like, are there problems with the movie? Of course there is. I'm not saying this is the perfect movie. I've said multiple times on the show, I don't believe in perfect movies. Yeah, the main character wasn't interesting, but I didn't mind him. Yeah, a lot of the characters were just essentially just established and didn't built on, but I didn't mind it. Mm-hmm. Like there was a lot for me here, and there's a lot you can improve that a sequel could do. But the most common thing, and it's pissing me off, the most common thing that I'm seeing is people like, there wasn't a tournament. Mortal Kombat is a fucking multimedia franchise that doesn't always require a tournament. This isn't Dragon Ball Z. Yeah. Dragon Ball Z always has a tournament to some degree in every goddamn arc. But this isn't that thing. So people are like, oh, it loses because of that. I'm like, no, it doesn't, because most of the Mortal Kombat stuff doesn't have it. They stopped doing that after the first couple. They did it in the reboot because it's a reboot. The fucking next 2, they didn't. And as far as like people saying that, oh, it's sequel baiting for a sequel, I'm like, okay, yes, I can agree with that. And that pisses people off. People don't like sequel baiting. They want a concise story and a sequel to just build off of that. But again, I didn't mind it because I want a sequel. So I'm like, okay, cool. You're sequel baiting me because you have ideas for a sequel. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. And here's the thing, because I'm going to show this, and I mean, maybe this is me. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys and be transparent. I'm probably just trying to change the subject as fast as I can, because I can feel myself wanting to talk about this movie a lot more. And I don't want to do that to you guys like how y'all did to me with Justice League. So I'm going to try not to do that. But the thing is, though, it's like someone brought it up, like, man, look, we let Baywatch happen, and we've dealt with worse. And you guys are, you're right when you say that, man, because
I never watched that movie. I refuse to.
But like,
garbage.
The thing that's crazy about this, for instance, it's like, this movie is doing shit that is ridiculous for its universe. Like, Baywatch, even the original show, the original source material, is not as insane as this. So I can see why people could get so mad watching Baywatch and going like, what the fuck is this crap? You know what I mean? And there's people that might be a little bit mad about WandaVision because it's like, what is this fucking Leave It to Beaver shit, whatever the fuck? I mean, it does get, surface level and normalized later on, and they start kind of like explaining everything. But I can understand people like losing their shit at something that's way crazier outside of source. But dude, you guys gotta keep in mind with Mortal Kombat, there's been a game called Armageddon where there was a big ball of fire with hands and feet who destroyed the fucking world because there was a dragon emblem coin thingy that fucking got lost after the NetherRealm master lost the fucking insignia. Like, it gets crazy, and like, you guys are mad about this movie? How the fuck?
It's yeah, and I agree with it because like people are like, oh, the lore. I'm like, the lore changes between games. No, sorry. The lore changes between characters' endings. Mm-hmm. Like, there are endings in which characters die, but then in their own story, it doesn't die. Why does that do that? Uh-oh.
You are some Hippocrates ass bitches. You guys will push down any other movie that does the same shit because it's Mortal Kombat, a series that you two like. Suddenly, all of a sudden, you guys want to switch real fast. You guys got mad at DC. Well, you got mad at DC and Marvel, and guess what? Some comedy movies that came out because they're just supposed to be fucking stupid. Alan, you would criticize the same fucking comedy movies for doing this same goddamn shit, but because Mortal Kombat, suddenly, all of a sudden, that shit doesn't apply.
I never said it didn't apply.
What the fuck? Why didn't you watch that newest superhero movie that came out? The comedy one.
Oh, the comedy one.
Thunder Force? Because I hate Melissa McCarthy and I refuse to watch anything with her.
Dude, what if Melissa McCarthy was?
There's not a single actor in this movie that I refuse to watch anything they make.
That's true.
Every actor in here, I've seen multiple stuff. I fucking watched Supergirl. He was on that show for like 5 seasons.
I forgot about that. I did forget about that.
And also, I absolutely hate this argument to where it's just like, oh, well, you guys are going so hard on this for but guess what? A lot of the fans of the actual of the games feel the same way. Oh, there wasn't a tournament. They are valid in not actually liking that because they're also fans of the games and maybe they wanted to see that shit.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, so are we. But you're such an invalidating our criticism by basically saying like, oh, we should be as mad as everyone else is, but we enjoyed it, so it's like, well, our criticism
you guys keep pointing out the fact, just like, oh, I don't get why these people are so mad about this because this and that. Because they're also fans and they also want to see certain things in Mortal Kombat they were waiting for.
We all wanted to see certain things from Mortal Kombat, but at the end of the day, we've been so disappointed with Mortal Kombat stuff in general because I said this right before the movie came out that Mortal Kombat content is 50-50. It's either amazing or fucking terrible. So the fact that we got something that was pretty fucking good compared to how bad it could have been.
Where? Like, the thing is, you guys come for movies that do this all the time. There's no character development, no story. You guys come for these movies all the time.
But again, they establish it like
I'm just getting really pissed at the fact, like, when it comes to this movie in particular, you guys suddenly throw that shit away.
We're not throwing that away because there's enough there for us.
Then why is it a perfect movie to you?
I never said it was a perfect movie.
Oh, yeah, neither one of us
I explicitly said otherwise.
Okay, then why is it a full price movie to you?
Because again, everything that they gave me in there is something that I've always wanted. I got something entertaining, I got interesting stuff, and I got establishment of characters that I want to see in future movies. I want to know what they're going to do with all these characters that they essentially set up.
That does it a ton better. You would not give the same score.
Yes, I would, because I was about to say Guardians of the Galaxy 1. I had my issues with it, but I overall liked it, and my words walking out, I can't wait to see a sequel because I wanted to build on these characters. Because like Guardians 1 is okay, it's not my favorite Marvel movie, but I was watching this going, okay, you did something. All these characters are kind of cool. What is the sequel going to be? I hated the fucking sequel because I felt like they didn't capitalize on a goddamn thing. That's another fucking discussion. This is like, okay, you brought these characters to life, characters that I've known since I was a kid.
They're so fucking plain. So I want to see it. Like,
simple, but these characters have been simple.
You get mad at simple characters all the fucking time.
But again, you have places you can go with these characters. You brought up these characters. Yes, and I agree with a lot of the criticism in the movie. The main character's not that interesting. They did a lot of unceremonious kills to a lot of characters have a lot of backstory.
The only real character there is Kano. The only
Scorpion and Sub-Zero.
Well, no, that's the only character that she likes.
No.
That's the thing.
That's the only character you like. Kano is just a shit talker. He was entertaining as fuck, but he's just a shit talker.
Yeah, he basically held this entire goddamn movie. Scorpion was only
for you.
He literally did absolutely almost nothing.
Okay, Jet, really
except
quick.
Family Guys.
Objectively, I will say that whether or not you like it, I gotta tell you, fucking Scorpion and Cole Yun, even though I know you don't like Cole Yun, there's a lot of development with him. There's a lot. I'm just saying. It's just one of the, like...
And at the end of the day, it's like you gave enough
good,
that the next... Yeah. At the end of the day, you gave enough with Scorpion and Sub-Zero, you establishing their conflict will be... You establish Scorpion and Sub-Zero's conflict so that you can extrapolate it in further fucking movies, go more into detail. Or maybe
you basically got all that because you already know these goddamn games. You're giving an excuse.
But then, but people say that all the time for other Marvel movies where it's like, oh yeah, that character's from this, that character's from that. They're going to establish that more. Like, that happens all the goddamn time.
And you guys are way harder on the Marvel movies.
No, you're probably
they
right.
Suck.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I am way harder on Marvel movies, and the reason why I'm harder on Marvel movies because we'll actually and Lax Marvel's like, what the fuck?
Don't rope me in on him. He is. I try to at least give them a chance.
Yeah, I'm an asshole when it comes to Marvel movies and DC movies, by the way, too. And I apologize for the chat, if that's the case. Cause I know lots of people in the chat are probably like, oh, well, you like those movies and blah, blah, blah. But, like, sorry, guys. For me, outside of what, like, because, like, with Marvel, it's like there's so many things that are lost within its, like, surface level type of storylines. Like, for instance, Iron Man, they explained so much in 2008 about, like, what the suit is, and there's so many things that go into making the suit and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the movie, and the movie's been, like, the whole hour and a half of Iron Man, it's so fucking good. And the last 20 minutes, he has this big-ass robot come out, no police is anywhere, he's throwing himself in the street, he's breaking cars, yet no one's dying, all this crazy shit's going on, and then Iron Man takes him to the fucking clouds, freezes him. Like, I mean, you establish, like, weight and weight distribution and being in this machine robot and how if it takes damage, it can't fucking work. You do all these things. You tell all these little bits of story, and then you just throw them away at the end with Mortal Kombat.
And the thing is what Nick's saying is 100% like wrong, and I'll argue with that. Everything that he mentioned, that the fight happened so fast that the police wouldn't show up, that it was mostly at night, so there wouldn't be any people in the cars in the streets, that the icing problem was established earlier on in the movie as one of the reasons he was able to fly with that exact suit that the guy stole earlier. Like, this idea that I go extra hard on Marvel movies because I didn't grow up in the same way isn't true, because I defend that shit too. Me and Nick have arguments all the time about that stuff.
Why didn't you like Guardians 2?
Because every single joke goes on for 10 fucking minutes and none of it is funny. A lot of the character development gets undercut because they feel the need to tell a fucking joke. When they're trying to, they can't have a serious moment for their goddamn fucking life without somebody trying to undercut what was going on. The Taserface joke was never funny, but goes on throughout a majority of that fucking movie.
I can see one part where Jack can
definitely. The movie starts off with baby fucking Jar Jar Binks fucking dancing to some fucking song while there's a decent fight going on in the background, but we gotta watch this fucking CGI puppet dance for 5 fucking minutes.
To Jet's opinion, really quick, to give her credit, because I know she's gonna say Kano.
Whose side are you on?
No, because I'm trying to be fair. It's not really being on a side. You gotta be fair. But like for me, it's like Kano does ruin. Like there's times where like Raiden's trying to say something, I don't know what the fuck he's saying, but he's like, and then there's this extreme fucking battle, and Kano's like, I don't care.
Yeah, that's like, denoted to one character. I said that in my review. One character does that. He's the only one in that whole cast, and that's why people like it's stuck. He stands up as a favorite because he does that. But again, he never like undercuts so much that you're like, oh, it takes you out of the movie. It's that perfect amount. Yeah. And he's the only character in the entire cast that does that. You don't have an entire cast of people undercutting their own fucking development.
But like I'll even do like, and I know Jed probably wants to talk right now, so sorry if I keep talking. But interrupt me at any time, Jed. Like seriously. But like, I'll even throw my own shit out there with the Freddy Krueger stuff. The reason why people stopped liking Freddy Krueger is because it was a guy who haunts your dreams, and then it just got to a point where like he's making like, pizza toppings with people's souls on their heads, and then he's on the beach and he has a claw come out of the water, and then. I mean, there's a video game happening in real life. Alan hates that part, and Freddy's dead.
I hate Freddy Snicks. I've said this multiple goddamn times.
Yeah, it gets so stupid that's like, yeah, don't go too far. Don't lose what the, you know what I mean? So it's like for me, Mortal Kombat's already ridiculous as soon as it starts. That's why I'm like, that's okay. That's why I like to Jet's point to respond to her because she's saying that we give it, a break, whatever. I give it a break because it's just like it's already ridiculous. Meanwhile, all these other things I'm bringing up that get shitty, it's because they start off kind of normal and they're surface level and it's understandable, and then just gets fucking ridiculous where I don't know what the fuck's going on anymore. They lose sight of what they're doing.
I don't give the only movie for genres I give breaks to are action movies. Someone walks up to me and says John Wick's 2 stories terrible. I'm like, yeah, you're 100% correct. It's about the set pieces. But like I generally don't sit there like, well, the source material is dumb, so yada yada. I've been arguing with Nick about comics since we fucking met. That's like, yeah, comics have a lot of dumb stuff to them, but they can also be serious when necessary, and he refused to acknowledge that fucking whatever. He just kind of shrugs it off and then says, oh, this shit's so dumb, how can anyone take it seriously? And then I'll go into it's like how you can't take it seriously. I do take Mortal Kombat seriously. There's a lot of stupid shit in there, but there's a lot of fucking amazing stuff in there. Like, I love the Shaolin monks as much as I hate Liu Kang. And that game is ridiculous, but that game is also cool as hell as how many worlds you can go to, how much they connect the lore. It's like, yeah, I love Mortal Kombat, and I'm a Mortal Kombat fanboy. But you know what? I'm also a Hulk fanboy. So when I love the Hulk in a movie, it's because of that. I like Captain America. I like Iron Man. Like, I like Marvel heroes as well. So it's like, I'll give the criticisms that I would in any other movie to this as well.
Like, Jet, really quick, on that, though, do you feel like you kind of understand more why we're giving it a little bit of a break? Because, I mean, you know, you might disagree still, but... Okay.
No, absolutely fucking not.
I'm sorry. I'm not apologizing for me enjoying.
I can see why Alan's giving it much of a break because he has a bias with fighting shit.
What the fight? Literally just said I'm not giving it a break.
Yeah, I know. I know. You literally just said I have a bias towards fighting movies and
action movies specifically, and I brought up John Wick as an example.
With fight scenes, you have a bias with stuff with fight scenes.
You like choreography?
Of course I do, but I've also watched movies with good fight scenes that are terrible fucking movies.
That's true too.
And you'll still give them a higher score than any other movie without it.
But that's his favorite
no,
shit.
I wouldn't.
Like, oh, well, never mind shit.
No, because again, I don't know why this always sticks in my head, but there's a random movie called The Revenger. It was fucking terrible. Every fight scene was amazing, but that movie was garbage. I give it like a fucking 2.5 out of 5.
That movie Jiu-Jitsu that just came out with fucking Nicolas Cage, like, there's a couple of fight scenes that are, I mean, they're not great fight scenes because they're really just lasers and shooting and blah, 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 but, like, I like shit like that. And I will tell you this much, Predator 2 has a couple of cool fucking Predator scenes or whatever the fuck, but, like, I can't stand watching Danny Glover fucking sweating his ass off. Oh, where's the monster at? I don't know what's going on. It hides a motherfucker.
And I love Predator 2. I'm probably the only person on Earth that does.
Fucking terrible. Well, you should be fucking watching Alien vs. Predator 2. That shit was fucking great.
Alien vs. Predator 2 is fucking terrible.
That's fucking amazing, bro. There's fucking blood everywhere. Dude, it's fucking rated R, bro. It's fucking rated R, bro.
The blood.
Yeah, because that's what you fucking... Yeah, it's a Predator. It's Alien. It's supposed to be fucking blood. They're killing people.
Yeah, is it also supposed to be terrible?
So, it's not terrible. It's not terrible.
It is.
How the fuck is it any worse than, like, half those Alien movies that came out? Alien 3 and afterwards is fucking terrible.
You can't sit there...
And the first Alien, and by the way, the first Alien movie is fucking garbage. I'm so sorry.
No, it's not. The first Alien's pretty fucking good. The second Alien's way better.
That stupid part where it comes out of the chest and it's just like, oh god. It's
the
like,
stupid part, one of the most iconic scenes in cinema.
Just because it's iconic, look at 2001: Space Odyssey. I see you, Julian. That fucking movie sucks.
No, that movie fucking sucks. 2001: Space Odyssey is boring as hell.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's like just because it's fucking popular or whatever, it's just it's stupid. And I hate that fucking part though too, because like every time Watch Mojo or somebody puts that fucking scene up with the chest burster, I always have to hear that fucking lady just oh god.
Because that was a real reaction. They didn't tell her it was gonna happen, so that was a real genuine reaction to what the fuck was that?
I'm sick of that shit. That lady, every fucking time. And the second movie, Aliens, was fucking incredible. I like that shit. Really, like y'all really had no attention span. See, but that's
I don't know why we moved on to this. Look, at the end of the day, like I'm gonna keep fighting this fucking fight. I've been doing that with Fast and the Furious, so fuck y'all.
Chris, on the other, we did a review yesterday, and I defended the fuck up. We both did. We loved the movie very much. Jet is against us in it.
And again, I'll throw you guys a bone. Like I get it. If you're not a fan and don't know a lot of the history of these characters, it might come across as a bit overwhelming of what of who a lot of these people are.
That's the thing I also understand, because a lot of these characters in here are mainline fucking characters. We know enough about them. It's just the movie was just very, very average, and everyone said it's like a full price better than the second movie. Where?
Not everybody's the opposite. Mostly me and Nick are saying that. Everyone else is saying this is like the fucking worst movie. Fucking we're fucking somebody's like, oh, worst movie of the year. I'm like, no, it's not worst movie of the year.
Justice League just happened. You fucking serious?
I like Justice League. This is better than Justice League.
Yeah, I cannot fucking stand. I mean, here's the biggest thing too is like I love economic editing. Like I fucking love that so much. And this movie was made for the audience to fucking have a good time and leave. If this was gonna do some shit that other Warner Brothers things, like especially like the little things should have been not even a feature-length fucking movie. That shit was nothing going on. That motherfucker, fucking Rami Malek, come and understand what the fuck Rami Malek was saying the entire time. But give him fucking awards though. Like fuck that guy. But the thing is though, it's like with Little Things and even Kong versus. Wow, let's say again, Godzilla.
Yep,
versus
he
Kong.
got to do it, folks.
Fuck
Kong
you.
versus Skull Island.
All right, let's get this out of the way right now.
What
was better, Sonic or Mortal Kombat?
Sonic.
Oh, Mortal Kombat easily.
See,
I
got him to say it. See, I got him to say it.
Which movie am I going to rewatch again? I'm going to rewatch Mortal Kombat
Same
again.
here. I'm
by the way, I want to point out, I like Sonic. Sonic's a great fucking movie. It's easily 7.5, like out of 10, 3.5 out of 5, easily.
I just had to make sure you definitely said that because I was telling Trey in the other call, like just like because he liked the movie too. He actually loved it as much as you two did. But
Wait,
then I was like,
Sonic movie or Mortal Kombat?
Mortal Kombat, and then he said like Sonic was still better though.
Well,
I mean, he's a Sonic fan. Of course he is. That man will.
He's a fan of Mortal Kombat too.
He's more of a Sonic fan.
Sonic fans will justify anything.
Yeah,
but he's literally fans of both, though. So the thing is, if he's fans of both, he can literally say if one's better than the other.
And that's the biggest thing.
So fucking what? Like we watched the same fucking movies too, and it's like the movie itself. Like people were complaining about in Sonic that it has almost no fan service outside of a shot or two. It's mostly its own fucking thing. But Sonic again, it had characters that were interesting and lovable. That's what made the movie good. It wasn't that it took a lot of stuff from the fucking video games or even anything video game related. It ignores most of the games.
Oh, actually, I want to bring this up really quick because Alan does not like that movie, by the way, just to put that out there.
Oh, don't you fucking put that evil on me. Don't you put that evil on me. I knew it was going to get brought up. I fucking hate I almost cried in the theater of how much, I was alone in the theater. I almost broke down how much I fucking hated
I would have cried too if I was alone in the movie theater watching Assassin's Creed.
Oh my fucking god! Because I was like, no, this movie's gonna be fine. They got all this money. They got all these actors. They got the money you need. It's a simple story. They could pull it off. And I should have known in the first 15 minutes that the movie was gonna suck because they fucked up the most important thing. And I'm like, if you fuck up this small thing, you don't know what the fuck you're making. Everything about that movie is bad. Every fucking thing.
Yeah, but chat, there's someone trying to write Detective Pikachu and he fucked that up. But
Detective Pikachu is great.
No,
I want to point out that I have no connection to the Pokemon.
That's also better. That's also better than Mortal Kombat.
I fucking love it. Again, you know why I love that movie? Not because it has this complex story. It's like no, it's extremely kind of simple story with a good twist, but it felt lived in. Every single shot in that, like again, it gave me what I want. Character walking down the street, random Pokemon. It's like, well, what did the Pokemon do in this world? Fucking street guards and just random like almost like police dogs and stuff like that. Like every Pokemon had some sort of use in society, and you get that by the character just walking down. I think it's fucking fantastic. But it's like, again, I have almost no connection. I don't hate Pokemon. I've only ever played one fucking game to completion. But at the end of the day, it was a good movie. But I still enjoy Mortal Kombat more, which is a better made movie. I'll give it that. Detective Pikachu is a better made movie. But which movie did I like more? Mortal Kombat.
These particular tangents, I feel like, because I didn't mean to talk about Mortal Kombat, but I'm looking at the time, like, we're almost at 30 minutes, we're talking about this shit. So I will stop soon, but, like, just to kind of put my opinion out there, too, really quick, it's just like the Sonic thing, yeah, that movie is definitely the best video game movie. I think at this point, I've sat on it for a while, and now I feel after years.
Detective Pikachu's a better movie than Sonic.
Well, it was subjective, I mean, like, I know you feel that way, but, like, it's just the difference. But, like, the biggest thing, though, too, is, like, those two movies are probably better video game movies for, like, that particular genre. And Mortal Kombat's not better than either one of those two. But, for me, just the way Alan said earlier, I'm going to watch Mortal Kombat way more than I'm going to watch those two movies because Mortal Kombat is there to entertain. Those movies are trying to, bring in the entire fucking universe and try to do all this shit and make it funny and make it accessible for non-Pokemon fans and non-Sonic fans. Because, keep in mind, people, I don't know shit about Sonic. I fucking hate Sonic, and I love that Sonic movie. If you're a person who doesn't like Mortal Kombat and you watch a Mortal Kombat movie, you're not going to like it because it's not for non-Mortal Kombat fans. Sonic was kind of for everybody and the Sonic fans, as well as the fucking Detective Pikachu movie.
I mean, the thing is, like, I also like Mortal Kombat, and I also still didn't like this. Well, I thought it was average. I still thought this movie was average.
Thank you, Alex Bernal, by the way, for the description. And yeah, man, just so you guys know too, Alex Bernal is a guy who actually does lots of editing for Chris Herman and the Class in the Glass YouTube channel. So definitely help out Chris Herman because he's trying to get those 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, so you can make some money off that shit. So definitely go over there and check his stuff out. But
like,
go ahead.
Like this whole thing about just like, oh, you absolutely need to be a fan of Mortal Kombat to actually enjoy this. Then you failed.
No, you didn't. Do you say that for a fan? Do you say that for a video game that caters to its fan base?
Right. If you want to make a lot of money, yeah, you should cater to like people who don't really know too much about Mortal Kombat.
So the Chipmunk movies are massive successes then, because they catered to everybody and made a lot of money.
They actually were pretty successful,
Well,
especially the first two.
But again, it's like they catered to everybody. Basically, only just had the character recognizability, made a ton of fucking money, but those are most universally reviled.
That's a kids movie. So literally anyone can go into that. This is R-rated, and just like literally. This should have been accessible to literally everyone, even people who do not know.
You said it was R-rated. How's it going to be accessible to everyone? It's going to be accessible to people that watch R-rated movies.
At least adults.
Actually, really quick if you can, and this will be the last time we bring up the Mortal Kombat thing really quick, but like I do want to bring this up, especially because you guys talk about like how much money it's making or how successful it's being. Well, I'm curious about that too because I don't know a lot about the box office stuff, and I really wish Corey would still be doing weekend top box office fucking segments on the show. But over here on Watch Mojo. Or not Watch Mojo, Box Office Mojo. And I just hit my page off. There it goes. Okay. Mortal Kombat made $22 million, and then that's just domestically. If you consider how much money they made around the worldwide, it was actually $52 million. So that's half their whole thing, but I got concerned instantly because I was like, wait, shouldn't they have made like $60 million or $70 million? And then because that gets cut in half by the next, by the next weekend. They are going to barely fucking make profit.
So yeah, but you gotta understand this isn't pandemic, and also this was also sold to the streaming services. You gotta the box office is gonna change as we know it. It's no longer gonna be opening weekend. It's no longer gonna be how much money it made because again, it's only been the first weekend. It's probably gonna in total, it's probably gonna make about $100 million in theaters. Considering the fact that almost most of America we're slowly opening up theaters. Considering the fact that a lot of the world is random, it's not as much as it was again 2 years ago. If you look at the 2019 box office, yeah, this would have been a complete failure, but it didn't go to that many theaters. You have to look for. Oh, okay, there we go, Gary.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
you have to look at for how much it did the upticks, how many people are subscribing, how many people watched it. When you look at Netflix movies break records all the time. Do you know how many people watch Adam Sandler's garbage ass movies on Netflix?
Yeah, I know.
Hundreds of millions of people.
Shit. Yeah. And here's the biggest thing too that people got bring up, and Chris brought up in the chat. So thank you for that too, dude. But I already had this in mind. But the audience that like Mortal Kombat are probably, I would say a quarter or even 30% of the audience also likes anime or Demon Slayer because it's also very gory itself. And people are waiting for Mugen Train for a very, very long time. Since last November, I believe, because I think that's when Demon Slayer stopped, or that's when the news came out. I forgot what the fuck it is. But $19 million taken just in domestic, and you gotta consider Demon Slayer is doing really, really good outside of America. Yeah, gotta tell you, dude, that's a big chunk of fucking change being used for for that movie or for tickets for that movie, and not Mortal Kombat. You have to consider Demon Slayer is a definite dent in the success of Mortal Kombat here. And I'm not trying to make excuses, but go ahead.
I disagree completely because, again, at the end of the day, it's yes, there might be similar audiences, but that movie came out Mortal Kombat came out basically Friday for most people. Mugen Train came out I want to say a bit prior, but it's
it also broke records for being with the top selling movie in Japan.
But in a world where we don't like to go to movie theaters because of coronavirus, as well as people are not making a lot of money, do you really think that people have enough money to go see both these fucking movies?
They're not going to watch it in theaters, but they'll find a way to get it. Again, I don't know if it's I don't know exactly what streaming services or just how people are getting it through DVDs or whatever the version of it is. But I don't think it's necessarily they're not even competing with each other. They just happen to be two completely different genre things released around the same fucking time.
One is better than the other. Let's get that straight.
That is sure, whatever. That's almost irrelevant because, you have a live action thing on a streaming service versus an animated stuff that's basically almost mostly around the world. It's different audiences that might coincide, but it's not hurting it. It's not affecting it in any way. They're two different things.
All right. I mean, it's just I know for me personally, I'm a guy who even if I had the money, I'm still going to choose one out of because dude, there's a lot even Nobody and Godzilla vs. Kong. Let's say that didn't bootleg shit. I would have also wanted to see Nobody, and if I didn't have HBO Max, I would obviously want to see Godzilla vs. Kong. That's 4 great choices in a movie theater right now. Oh, and by the way, Raya and the Last Dragon. If you have a kid, Raya and the Last Dragon's amazing. That's a great fucking movie theater movie to watch. So that's 5. No, as beautiful as a movie is, that's a definite go see that shit the weekend it comes out type movie. I can't believe y'all too.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked it, but honestly, as soon as I finished it, I'm never gonna think about this movie again.
Imagine being a little kid though. You just want to see nice, magical,
Sure.
Because Mortal Kombat, let's be honest, kids should not be watching that shit.
But then again, I also played Mortal Kombat when I was fucking 8. So
you're also fucked in the head though. Me too. All of us are.
Yeah, that's it.
I was watching.
But I want to see the fucking Mugen Train because I just finished up Demon Slayer. How the fuck do I watch that?
Yeah.
I don't even think it's playing in my city.
That's a goddamn shame.
Maybe Netflix will put it on theirs like at some point because they have the entire first season. Maybe they'll put the movie there too.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's already out on like certain anime sites subbed. Like you're watching in theater to see it dubbed.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to see a dub. I'm good. I know nothing against a dub, but I just watched it with subs. So.
I'd much rather have subs, to be honest, too. But then again, it is what it is because watching a dub and having like a bootleg copy of an anime thing, like just that's a rough fucking combination. I don't like that shit at all.
Terrible. And then again, it probably has a bigger budget. They're gonna do some cool ass shit with their fighting.
Red Hood, dude, you gotta watch Demon Slayer though. That anime, it's on Netflix right now. Definitely check it out. It's fucking amazing. There's only like 2 episodes where it gets a little like, but it's to give you a minute to calm the fuck down. But like I'm telling you, that's a great show.
It's fantastic. Like it's up there. Like it's a very very good shonen anime. Like there are ones I like better. Like I think Hunter x Hunter is better, but it's like it's not like it's bad. It's good. It's just really good. Where Hunter x Hunter is fucking amazing.
But you know what though? Since we've been talking so much shit about one particular thing, I feel like I gotta like lash out at some of you guys. So this is gonna be very fast. This is not even really a topic, to be honest.
We've been lashing out at them since we started the show.
Zack Snyder wanted Batman v Superman to be called Son of Sun and Night
Son
of
of
Night.
Sun and Night of Night.
So,
look, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like Night of Night.
Anyway,
like,
I'm busy. I'm out.
You just came in here to yell at us?
What are you doing? She
Right,
left.
whatever.
She literally left. This is fucked up.
Look, I know people are making. I feel like it. Like, okay, I'm gonna go on Zack Snyder defense train. I feel like Zack Snyder could walk in and go, "Hi, what the fuck did he say hi for? Fuck that guy!" Like, just set him on fire and burn him out of the fucking room. It's like everything Zack Snyder does is terrible to y'all. Like, it bothers me too because, like, look, I know a lot of people aren't gonna sit through 4 hours of the Snyder cut and don't like the interpretations of Batman and Superman. I said that during the review. He doesn't understand a single character in this entire fucking franchise except for Wonder Woman. Surprisingly enough. I don't get that, but he nailed Wonder Woman. But that's neither here nor there.
Oh, wow, he did. Playing out rumors, huh?
What? No, I mean,
he nailed Wonder Woman.
No, he actually got the character right down to every single thing about her. She's the only character in the entire movie that actually is comic accurate. But as far as, like, the name, A Night of Night's Son of Sun, I don't hate it. I think the Son of Sun is
fucking
stupid.
kidding me, dude.
I think the Son of Sun is kind of stupid, but Night of Night is not bad. It's almost poetic, but I think those should be 2 separate movies. I don't think that should be the tagline because if you want to go for Man of Steel, Dark Knight, so Night of Night, Son of Sun, I'm like, okay, that's not bad ideas as 2 separate movies where it's like Son of Sun. It's like, okay, you have this Superman's kid, he's the son of, again, he gets his powers from the sun. You're the son of that son. That's not bad. It's almost a poetic, but it's like as soon as he says anything, people are just immediately willing to jump down the fucking throat.
Because he's fucking terrible. I mean, like, I love.
No, he's not.
I like Dawn of the Dead, but like, I
like Dawn of the Dead. I like 300. I like Guardians of the Goa'uld. Like, he's made a lot of good movies.
Yeah, but he has a lot of fucking. For one, I can guarantee.
Tim Burton has a lot of trash movies, and people still fucking think he's a great director.
Yeah, well, I mean, it really depends on what shit comes out, what times with the right audience, whatever too. Because I gotta tell you, if Tim Burton came out at any other time other than the time that he fucking did his stuff, I guarantee you, people would be like, "That guy's crazy. That shit's weird, and he's a fucking idiot." Because I gotta tell you, I bring this guy up all the time because I like when you get mad about one fucking movie, but Alex Proyas, when he did Dark City and The Crow, those things looked very, very Tim Burton. Like
one movie, he made The Knowing and then made Gods of Egypt.
Okay, Knowing, only you feel that way.
You only like it for 2 movies.
A lot more. The Crow, Dark City, I, Robot. So 3, fuck you.
That's my goddamn point. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It's like, look, the question, look, I hate Watchmen. Okay, look, I love Zack Snyder, but I hate Watchmen and I hate Sucker Punch. I think those are. I fucking think Watchmen is one of the most boring movies I've ever seen.
Hating him is the fault of those properties versus Zack Snyder.
Okay, Sucker Punch is entirely his own creation and it's shit from start to finish. Watchmen itself is an incredibly interesting take that he basically fails because he makes one of the most boring movies I've ever sat through. This man made 300. A fucking amazing movie. And Watchmen has so much rich story you could take from, to the extent where HBO said, fuck it, we're doing a 8-episode miniseries, and it was like the best show to come out last year.
Well, shit. But by Mauricio, like, even by that point, because, like, I'm glad you put that...
I don't think Batman Superman is not that bad.
Well, for me, I think it's okay for comic book stuff, but like as a movie in itself, it's fucking terrible. But that's besides the point. My thing is that looking at what Marissa said, 3 good movies and 2 bad ones. I gotta tell you, dude, like numerically, how do you feel that way? Where you're like, hey, majority of good movies, but fuck this guy though. Like it's just like
it doesn't matter because to me, it's like how bad are the bad and how good are the good.
Well, The Crow literally started a franchise with just one.
So what started a franchise? Is every subsequent movie any good?
Well, no, but Alex Proyas did not do that.
So did The Rock with Scorpion King, but every fucking movie sucked.
Yeah, but like I don't know, it's like for me, like Wes Craven, like he did the Freddy Krueger thing. He didn't make any of the other Freddy Kruegers, but he brought, he made this foundation of this fucking character who is not only connecting fucking like franchises and shit, but like became a legend way later on. But it all started at the fucking brain seed of Wes Craven. So
yes,
that dude
and every
should get
Wes
credit
Craven
for all those movies.
Every Wes Craven directed movie is a good. A Freddy movie is a good one. The first one, New Nightmare. I don't know if I got that.
Wes Craven did New Nightmare for sure.
Yeah, New Nightmare in the first one. It's like, so yes, if Wes, did he pass away? I feel like he did.
Yeah, he did.
Okay, well, let's say Wes Craven was to make another Freddy movie. I'm not going to be like, oh, Freddy sucks because 4, 5, and 6 were the most god awful things in the world. I'd be like, he made a good movie. He knows his character. If Alex Proyas is gonna fucking make a goddamn Freddy movie, like, no, this guy's a fucking idiot because the bad movies are so bad. Just like how people here are giving shit to Zack Snyder's bad movies, but don't sit there and be like, hey, his good movies are also fucking good too. They're just like the bad movies are so bad that I can't fucking sit through those. Same thing with Alex Proyas. Like, that's my issue with Ridley Scott. Ridley Scott has done fucking terrible bullshit, and I fucking hate him, and I don't want to watch another movie. Tim Burton's the same way. Look, Big Fish, fucking fantastic. But I'm not going to watch another one of his movies because he's released so much. The Alice in Wonderland movie, the fucking, what was it? The remake to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory was fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not watching these fucking movies because he's a bad director.
I was down.
I think
he did do A Corpse Bride, right?
Corpse Bride, yeah, but I didn't watch the movie because at that point I'm sick of his fucking like, oh, I'm going to be dark, edgy, fucking mainstream goth guy.
Yeah, because I like a couple of his movies, but at the same time, there's like 4 or 5. And then, one thing that matters to me is like, okay, how much is the material that you're working with? Because being a director is not really one of those things where someone has full control over what the fucking thing's going to come out.
No, I'm not going to hear that when it comes to Tim Burton. Because Tim Burton does $150 million movies and pays Johnny Depp $20 million. They let him do whatever the fuck he wants. He's like Christopher Nolan, but edgy. No one tells Christopher Nolan what to fucking do. So when he makes a shitty movie like Tenet, it's his fault.
True, yeah. But I will tell you, though, I think that Dark Knight Rises not being as good as the other 2 movies was definitely not Nolan's fault. He wanted to not even do that fucking movie. That was a financial decision. So,
oh, sure. He did it just so he could get money to continue working with Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, The Dark Knight is his success, him and his brother. It's the source material for Batman is extremely good, and he took a lot from a lot of that stuff, but he also helped with him and his brother wrote the screenplay for that, so you can give the credit where credit's fucking due. To me, the director is the captain of the ship. Yes, there's a lot of people that have to clean the deck and make sure the fucking weapons are going and everything goes to the ship, but at the end of the day, the captain's who steers. Doesn't matter how good you are at your job at fucking making sure the ammo's clean. If he steers it into a fucking iceberg, it's over. So Tim Burton does that a lot, and it's like this idea that people keep forgiving him because they think he fucking directed Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I completely forgot about that. No, Tenet is so not as good as WandaVision, and even though they're both kind of crazy, whatever, WandaVision actually has some kind of semblance of reality, whereas Tenet is... Dude, by the way, I watched Tenet in a bootleg.
WandaVision actually explains its basic premise and makes sure that, hey, in case you don't get it, here's something for you. Tenet goes, fuck you.
Yeah. Because Nolan is a guy who would always say "fuck you." Because
I'm the biggest Nolan fanboy,
and you got to stop that. You must stop. Why?
You got to stop being an Alex Proyas fan, man. The man hasn't made a movie in fucking years.
Who cares? Like he fucking made great shit. Steven Spielberg hasn't made a bunch of movies. He just produces.
Actually, he has, and almost all of them have been terrible for like a decade.
I know, but he still did so many, like Jurassic Park, Jaws, blah blah blah. Like he's done so much shit. It's like, dude, John Carpenter's another person.
He doesn't make good movies anymore. But you sit there and go like,
but you gotta realize,
he was good at one point in time.
But the whole fucking universe of movies that we get right now is because of people like Steven Spielberg. It's because of people like John Carpenter.
But doesn't matter. They're not like, okay, saying that the movies are inspired by this director is one thing, but the director himself, look at Ridley Scott. I'm not gonna sit there and be like, you know what, this kind of Ridley Scott, like he might have not done anything good, but that man made Aliens. It's like he made Alien 1, sure, and then like he's never made a good sequel ever to anything. To any of his fucking
products.
Other people
are just not a thing that people should want to do, anyways. Because sequels right away is bad.
James Cameron has literally made 2 sequels.
Yeah, that's why
that were the best movies of all time.
Amazing.
But like, that's my point, though. Every sequel he makes is the best movies of all time. Terminator 2, Aliens. Everybody in this chat will probably fall in lines of like, if you ask them what's their favorite fucking movie out of those two, T2 or Aliens, there's gonna be a fight in the chat.
Okay,
People will stand
really quick. Let me ask you this really quick. James Cameron doing Aliens. Who is at more fault for the positivity of not only that character but that world that he did in Aliens? Who is at more positive fault for that movie?
It's James Cameron. I
think it's Ridley Scott.
Because, no, it's not, because you hated the first Alien. Ridley Scott.
I hated it, yes. But the thing is, though, is like the work that he did for that movie, James Cameron just took that, did something that was already done, and said, hey, I'm going to make it really good. But he didn't create anything there. He just did.
Doesn't matter if he didn't create anything there. He was able to take what was in that world and make it and world build, make it interesting. Add a lot of characters that people remember. Add a lot of memorable lines of dialogue. He created a simple story, but he managed to expand that world more so because what people liked about Aliens, it's very closeted. It's like, yes, it's a space movie, but you're stuck in the corridors the whole time. With Alien, it's like you get a chance to fight back against these creatures that scared the shit out of you in the last one, and you get all these characters, it's expanded world. That's all James Cameron, because that's what James Cameron does. Because he did that with Terminator, where the first one is like he does a lot of stuff that you never expect with robots, and the second one just fucking goes crazy with it. And people consider that, again, the best movies of all time. You consider Terminator 2 the best movie of all fucking time.
It's number one, the best movie of all time.
Yeah. And I'm not going to fight you with it. I love it.
And I love James Cameron, by the way. I'm just saying, though, it's like some people be like, man, thank God for James Cameron. He did that thing with Aliens. It's like, well, let's not forget. Like, does anyone talk about, the director who made Dream Warriors? I don't even remember who directed that shit. But the thing is, though, it's like whoever did it because they were able to do something really cool with somebody else's idea. Because Freddy Krueger is not the idea of anyone who made any of those movies except for Wes Craven and Robert Shea.
Blade Runner 2049 is better than the original Blade Runner.
I agree.
And I don't know how many fucking cuts there are, like 15 of them. Better than every single one of them. This is a director that basically just said, fuck it. I'm going to take this world because there's so much you could do with this and just go with it. Ridley Scott can't fucking do that because guess fucking what? He created Aliens. He also did Prometheus and Covenant. Those back to back are terrible. So fuck you.
Yeah, well, I'm not defending Ridley Scott too much because I actually agree with you nowadays on that. I mean, granted, I still think that he should be given some kind of respect because he did create this crazy thing. But
I'm tired of that respect thing going on because it's like, if a director, like, that's almost like as much as I'm angry at people for doing that, like, I get it with Zack Snyder, he's done enough bad in a row. But, like, at the end of the day, it's like people will do this with other directors. They'll go, he made this, he started this, he did that. But, his next movie's going to be great, but they ignore all the bullshit. But with Zack Snyder, they go through every line of dialogue of everything he's ever done and say his next movie's going to be dog shit because of it. You guys are jumping back and forth.
Yeah, I agree with you in some ways about that, but at the same time, like, for me, I just noticed that, like for instance, and I'll go back to comic books just for a second, then we'll move on and everything, because I know people are like, God damn, you guys fucking stay on tangents. I'm like, yeah, well, that's the chat tag. We just, And you guys are the show in the chat, by the way, so if you guys are continuing talking with us and everything, too, like, we're going to use whatever you guys are saying for the show, because it's your guys' show. It's the chat tag. It's in the name. And I appreciate that, by the way, guys, because all the success is really due to you guys. But moving on, though, with me getting mad about comic books, that's something I kind of get mad over, too. Like, for instance, Infinity War, I really like Avengers Infinity War because of the fact that they didn't do some shit based on the comic books. Thanos is completely different, and he's the shit. I fucking love Thanos, right, in the movies. In the comics, he's fucking terrible. Meanwhile, when Avengers Endgame comes out, or Spider-Man, or any of these fucking video games that come out, and are just doing the same shit that we saw in the comics, guys, the comics are fucking, like, silly. They're for comic books. I'm not trying to insult comic books by saying, like, they're dumb for, just in general. I'd never mean that. Because, like, for one, I don't even read this shit, so how the fuck would I really know anyways? But the thing is, though, is that when you take that shit out of that medium and put it into movies, it really looks stupid because it's not for fucking movies. So when somebody like the Russo brothers, when they take that shit, and granted they did do something different with Infinity War, but like with Endgame, continuing those particular things that were odd about the fucking comic books is a huge problem I have, especially with the animated stuff and everything too. The DC stuff, how much Joker is in fucking everything just because he's like a popular character in the comic books. Why don't you create something new? Why don't you do something with the fact that you have these properties, you can actually write your own story? Why does it always have to be the same shit? Like, dude, at the end of this fucking Justice League thingy, why is Martian Manhunter here? Just because it's in the comics doesn't mean it's good for movies. It was silly as fuck seeing that motherfucker show up. That was dumb as hell.
No, it was only dumb because of the fact that we know it's not going to go anywhere. But again, Zack Snyder's like, hey, I wanted that Martian Manhunter.
So if it wasn't for, okay, let's just pretend there was a Justice League 2. You would sit there and be like, man, I'm really interested in Martian Manhunter. What's he going to do?
Yeah, he's a fucking cool-ass character.
Oh, my God.
What are you talking about? Martian Manhunter is one of the most he's one of the most standout characters in the original Justice League television show.
You know what else would be standout? If someone's wearing a big pink fucking horn on their head, like a fucking.
No, I'm sure they'll come out with Stone Cold and drink like 18 beers, and they'll be your favorite character. Like,
yeah.
But my point is, it's like Martian Manhunter is one of the most standout characters in the original Justice League animated TV show. Prior to that, I don't think anyone really knew. Like, he was always a part of the Justice League, but he's one of those members that people are like, oh yeah, right, he's there. But when you see him in the animated, everyone's like, yeah, John Jones is one of the fucking coolest guys in the fucking Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. Same thing with a lot of the other characters that really kind of blew up because of that show. So it's like, yeah, I've always liked Martian Manhunter. I think he's cool as hell. He's almost a more interesting Superman. Last of his race, had to go to Earth, has to hide amongst people. Like, he's an incredibly interesting, deep character. Like, I like what they did with him on Supergirl. Like, he's one of my favorite Justice League members.
Yeah, and with Ruth to say, before the movie, Iron Man was one of the most boring Marvel heroes, and they made him great. He was like a C-list hero, by the way, too. Was he not?
Oh, no, he was worse. People actually didn't like him.
Yeah.
Like, legitimately, he was not a likable character. But what they do is they got Robert Downey Jr. and they basically made him decently sympathetic, but they turned him into Jack Sparrow. He's the funny drunk.
Yeah. I love that. I really do. So, yeah, man. It's just, for me, I wish people would be more creative with some of these things. Like another thing, too, with the Candyman, it looks like they're going to be doing something different with that. They did something different with the Halloween 2018 movie. But then there's shit like the 2010 Platinum Dunes remakes where that Jason movie was just Jason again. Just, a little bit better edited, blah, blah, blah. Freddy Krueger, let's just have him do the same thing that he did. It's like, stop. Like, you're doing the same shit over and over. Like, we have the old shit. Stop fucking doing, I don't know.
They want to capture the original, but then also try to do their own thing. But it's like, sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. Mad Max Fury Road is the best Mad Max movie.
Yeah, because and by the way, I haven't seen it, but when I watch trailers or clips, it's totally different. It's its own identity. That's so cool. You know what I mean?
Actually, it's actually almost the exact same. A lot of the similar stuff is from the second one, Mad Max. Road
Warrior.
Oh God, Road Warrior. Yeah, it's very similar to Road Warrior, but I'm sorry, it's better in every single way. I don't like any of the Mad Max movies. I watched all three to get ready for Fury Road because they released the game like 6 months earlier. They released the game almost like a year earlier. It was kind of weird, and I love the game so much. Then I went to watch the movies to get ready for the new movie. I'm like, these movies all suck. Watch Fury Road, fucking fantastic.
Yeah. No, which is cool, and honestly, someone in the chat way earlier, my bad for not reading it, guys, and I'm reading every single thing you guys are saying because I'm looking at the screen here. I just, only so much I can respond to, you know what I mean? But someone was talking shit about Dark Fate, saying it wasn't really great, and I can see why somebody else would think that, but I love that movie so much. But go ahead, I'm sorry.
I don't know, I was going to agree with you. Like, I love Dark Fate. Like, to me, it's like Terminator movies, there's like only two good ones. The first one, second one, then you have this one. It's like, yeah, is it trying to be exactly like T2? Of course it is. But to me, it's like the movie never stops. As soon as it starts, it keeps going. But when it needs to stop, it makes sense. Characters like die on the verge of death, needs to rest to get back to normal. We were basically ramping up to figure out how we're going to take out this Terminator. Like, there's a lot of that movie that I loved, and a lot of the movie I'm like, oh, you actually managed to do something different. But I think at the end of the day, it's like, it's impossible to please the Terminator fans because there's so many people that grew up with it that Terminator 2 feels like an ending. It feels like it's over. That it's like doing it again is just like you're trying to recapture it,
Yeah, Frank Wells, Harry Hillin, because he's a great actor. I was very happy to see him as Martian Manhunter instead of Wayne T. Carr as John Stewart. Also, John Stewart's my favorite Green Lantern. Yeah, like I'm curious what they're going to do with that character moving on forward too, because I think there's a lot of potential with Green Lantern. I really do. Especially like just being able to explain like why he has the powers he has too. Like that all can be very, very interesting and can have a lot of like stuff to fill out your movie with. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't feel like it'd be forced. By the way, that's why I say to watch Thunder Force, by the way, because a lot of that movie is them explaining and doing shit, but it's so quickly edited and so fast as far as like the jokes and then them actually being able to use the powers. And I gotta tell you, dude, if like the mainline superhero shit can actually take some stuff from Thunder Force, I can guarantee you there'll be way better movies. I'm not fucking around. I'm seriously not fucking around.
I refuse to watch a movie with Melissa McCarthy in it.
Well, shit. Chad's gonna fucking hate me right now for saying that too. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a casual. I'm not a big fucking whatever. But like
the TV shows, some of the games, and obviously the comics and stuff. They go into a lot of detail, this kind of stuff. With the movies, it's like you go to as much the origin stories.
Well, see, I don't want the detail. That's what I'm saying. Because like they'll go into detail, But it's like, this shit doesn't make sense, and now you just bored me. Well, Thunder Force is like, look, a little bit of detail, and we're showing that there is a process to all these things that we're doing to have these powers. But we're an hour and a half movie. You want to have some fucking fun? Let's come have some fun. It's just fun. I love fun. I miss when movies just used to be fucking fun, Alan.
Movies are fun, but your level of fun isn't the same as that. You like it because it's essentially a parody of superhero stuff, and you're gonna think superhero shit is stupid. So something being stupid alongside that hits every single thing you like.
See, this is why I run by Mortal Kombat. No, I'm just playing. We're actually on the same side of Mortal Kombat, everybody. But I'm really curious. By the way, like, I never thought that you and me would be at such odds against everybody else together as a team. Like, how does that feel for you, by the way? Just the fact that you and I finally agree on something.
I mean, that happens. The moment I agree with you, I realize I'm on the wrong side of history. But fuck it, I don't care. It's Mortal Kombat.
But
I'll take the hit for Scorpion being my favorite character, to growing up with this, to just being a part of history. It's like, look, man, video game movies are notoriously terrible. So to have one that people are arguing one way or another if it's good or not, and there's actually like quality to it, it's like I have to sit here and just be happy, because this could have been Super Mario Brothers. That movie is fucking terrible. I just like to laugh at it. But the fact that somebody actually tried to put some respect to this and didn't sit there and be like, well, Mortal Kombat's stupid, so why do we have to bother? It's like, no, someone actually bothered.
But moving on, because it's going to be another situation, we're going to be on the same team over here, man, and that is this little thing right here. How I Met Your Mother sequel series starring Hilary Duff has been ordered at Hulu. As far as I know, by the way, this new show is going to be called How I Met Your Father, which has been a joke with lots of people who've watched this show, and I cannot believe they're actually going on with that stupid fucking title. That is such a bad title, but right away, I'm just going to ask you what you feel about this, man.
The ending to How I Met Your Mother is the worst series finale I have ever seen in my entire life. And this includes Game of Thrones, Lost, and I've never seen Sopranos. So I don't know how I would feel if I ever watched it. You have no idea how screaming mad I was. It's one of the worst. And for people, like, the show's great. It's better than Friends. It's way better than Friends in every goddamn way and form, because the characters are actually likable, unlike everyone on Friends. Mm-hmm. But the thing is the idea of a sequel series of How I Met Your Father, it's like, I don't know what they would do. I honestly want to see it, because I want to know if they're going to do it. Because the thing about it, and my friend kind of almost broke me with this, every episode of How I Met Your Mother is a filler episode. Because the whole...
Yeah, I guess.
Now let me explain. So the series starts where the children are sitting on a couch, and the father goes, I'm going to explain How I Met Your Mother. And he starts talking about like dating sites and his job and his life. He's basically telling a life story. The thing is he's doing a lot of characters also get the development. Barney gets some of the most development in the series. Marshall's wife, like all these characters are getting development, and he's essentially, instead of telling it directly, like, I went to dating, we went on a date, yada yada, he's telling his entire life story and the characters' life stories and how they got to where they were. So you get a lot of the development, the emotion, a lot of interesting stuff that's important to his life. It's really almost not about the mother at all, except for like maybe 10 episodes in 9 seasons. So that's what makes the show incredibly interesting, is how well you build the characters.
Yeah.
The thing is comedy has kind of changed from what it was in that show to what it is now. So you can't really go back in time and do the same kind of comedy because it doesn't fit as well. But trying to do something new from a female perspective could be interesting. I want to know what they're going to do, and I'm willing to give it a chance.
You know, for me, I would like to say that I would be willing to give it a chance too, but sometimes it's just, I don't know. This feels just kind of forced. And like in a synopsis too, by the way, it says that you know, the show's gonna be taking place in 2021, not like the filming. I mean like the storyline, the synopsis.
Sure.
And yeah, when I read that, I instantly thought that, oh shit, this is gonna be one of those one of the first mainstream shows that's going to essentially show a sitcom atmosphere taking place post coronavirus. And I'm like, that could be a cool concept for this show, because, I mean, are they at a point where they can do like a half serious, half comedy show and be like, hey, like
100%. How I Met Your Mother was always it was a comedy, it was a sitcom too, but there are episodes that tug on your heartstrings. Like legitimately, I don't recommend you watching this because you hate feeling things. But like, one of the episodes that always stands out to me is
Go ahead.
One of the episodes, one of the main characters' father passes away, like kind of unexpectedly. It's like a heart attack, and he just goes, and he's extremely distraught because his father died. But his father's last words were like, "Get me an umbrella" or something, and that was the last conversation he ever had with him. So he's just breaking down, going, the hell? That was the last conversation I had? Like, it wasn't something like, oh, I love you, I'll see you tomorrow, or something profound. It was just, get me a fucking umbrella. And he's mad too. He goes to his friends like, hey, what was the last conversation you had with your fucking parents? Imagine if that was the last words, and that's the whole episode is him trying to come to grips with that, and it got me. That episode makes me cry every time I watch it.
Yeah, no, that fucking sounds awful.
Like, yeah, don't watch it. You'll fucking punch a wall. Like, I tell you not to watch it.
I actually dealt with the exact same fucking thing. Like, my dad actually is fucking dead, so like that really sucks. But at the same time, I appreciate that they're able to do that because I do like when shows can kind of like go off what they're supposed to do or what's expected of them, which could be interesting. But here's another thing too that I read about is that and it's actually kind of like the title of the whole fucking thing. But this was ordered at Hulu. And I gotta say, I do think this could be
a lot.
Yeah, and I gotta say, this could be a catapulted effort to essentially mirror what The Office did for Netflix. Where I'm like, dude, this could be really cool. Like, because what Netflix did for what The Office did for Netflix is essentially, you know, I mean, it was a big joke about like, are you still watching, or people either falling asleep or fucking while The Office is on? Because The Office was such an easy thing to just leave on and just marathon all the time. Like, me and Gandra will disagree with you about like the, you know, value of The Office because I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it's like it's the most easiest thing to just leave on. It's background noise. Yep. So I mean, do you feel like, you know, How I Met Your Father can do the same thing for this, whatever? Do you think that maybe it can be the thing that makes Hulu, you know, part of that big talk where it's like, hey, we're the favorite streaming service, Peacock, Netflix, Hulu, you know what I mean?
I mean, it'll help because again, was it Fox? I can't remember who passed up on it. It was NBC or Fox. It was one of those. Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Now, it's not the exact same thing as The Office or Parks and Rec, but it's the same idea. Hey, we're following this group of detectives and police officers, and they're going through their, you know, normal lives. It's mostly a comedy, and every now and then, you know, they have heartfelt episodes. It's not as, I wouldn't say it's as sad as, like, you know, some of the episodes in Futurama or How I Met Your Mother or Friends, but I'd say it's heartfelt, where it's like you start feeling for these characters because you've been with them so long. It can be done in this day and age. Like, they managed to, in a world in which people rightfully hate the fucking police, they managed to make a show that go on for 8 seasons about that, and it's a comedy because most cop shows are dire and horrifyingly dark.
Yeah.
Where this is like, hey, we're going to be fun with our jobs. So they can do it. It just has to be well written. And How I Met Your Mother is well written. It's better than Friends. Like, you could easily do that kind of stuff where it's like, Hilary Duff, I'm like, people like Hilary Duff. She's a fan favorite. People remember her from Lizzie McGuire. Like, that's a good get.
No, it really is, and that's actually an expensive get too. It's like, holy shit, you guys must have some, you know, some financial backing, and if you have financial backing, that means that someone actually feels like there's something good here, which could be cool. That tells you a lot too. My last question basically is: do you think that How I Met Your Mother or How I Met Your Father series can pave the way for reunions and rebirths like Everybody Loves Raymond, King of Queens, Seinfeld, all that shit to come back?
If Raven's Home, Girl Meets World, and Fuller House didn't do it, I don't think this will be the one. The one that'll do it is if Friends does it. Not necessarily a reunion, but like a sequel to Friends.
Because I feel like Fresh Prince reunion, like the one they did, like that one
that's
episode.
That's gonna be fucking terrible.
Well, no, because they're not getting back. Like they're not doing a show together, or anything. But like they did that thing where they all sit down and talk, and like I mean, there was like a big emotional moment about Uncle Phil and all that stuff. But like they all hung out. And if you notice, other shows are doing it now. Like King of Queens is going to have a reunion where they just talk. It's not like a show or an episode or anything. It's just a discussion. I'm like, okay, well, Fresh Prince was able to do this. And, you know, I don't feel like Fresh Prince is, like, something that can catapult, like, a whole reunion show, like, where it's episodic and everything. But it got that going. And HBO Max was fucking just, like, I mean, they got lots of value out of that. So what else can happen with these shows that no one really takes that seriously because it's always just like, that's on. I mean, shit, like, that actually means a lot more than what we used to think, right?
No, because it's like nostalgia where people want to see those same actors after so many years talk about the show, like podcasts and stuff like that. When it comes to going through and watching a whole show with characters being actors again, I think at the end of the day, it's like, I don't know if, because Fuller House was a sequel, Raven's Home was a sequel, Girl Meets World was a sequel. I don't know what How I Met Your Father is going to be. Is it going to be a sequel, or is it going to be like, it's just like, hey, those events never happened? Is it going to be in the same city? Because the benefit of it with all the shows I just mentioned is you get those characters back to go through another character arc where they're older, where they're adults. With Raven's Home, it's like, is she a mom? I refuse to watch it because I never like that. I never like That's a Raven. That's a Raven is a terrible, like, not terrible character. She's a terrible person.
I mean, I can see that being the case too. But then again, like, terrible people probably make for good shows sometimes. I don't know. I will tell you show you don't want to fucking watch is Dead Stop Embarrassing Me. That Jamie Foxx show that came out, that fucking shit's terrible. I'm going to talk about that shit tomorrow. I'm doing a full-on review for that fucking piece of garbage.
You good. You do you, man. I ain't watching that shit. But at the end of it, it's like, look, I don't know if the show's going to spark anything else. But at the end of the day, if it's a good show, it's gonna stay on for a while. People are gonna, especially a good sitcom, especially if they keep it to 20 minutes and don't feel they need to go 40 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Like 20-minute episodes, make it kind of light. Every now and then you have a heartfelt episode. Yeah, you just have to have good writing. And they were trying to get this fucking thing off the ground for ever since How I Met Your Mother ended. It's almost been a decade.
Really? Okay, I didn't even know that. But yeah, it is what it is. Ruth is saying Narcos Mexico was the best sequel series. I can see that being the case. People are talking about that a lot, but I've yet to watch any of the Narcos stuff, which I will at some point soon. Moving on, though.
It's fucking great.
Speaking of sequel series or even spin-off series, because that's essentially what the How I Met Your Mother thing is, but here we got the John Wick spin-off series, the Continental. Now, here's the thing. When I was doing tags for this, so I just want to correct myself because this is actually just a tiny bit old, 2 days ago. But I noticed for some reason it's called the ballerina. I keep seeing that like typed into the Continental.
The ballerina is I read up into it. The ballerina, I think, I don't know if it's a failed spin-off, but another kind of spin-off. Basically,
Jesus
fucking decently
Christ.
popular. That happens all the time. I mean, the decently popular show or decently popular movie is gonna have spin-offs because they want to, they want to capitalize it as much as possible. Game of Thrones has like how many in fucking development? Like fucking 35.
Yeah. But this over here is about Winston apparently. And I do want to put out there that I haven't seen a lot of the John Wick stuff. So I've seen the first movie, most of the second one, nearly none of the third one. So this show that's coming out is apparently, as I saw by this particular thing, it's Continental, not the ballerina. Even though who knows, maybe we're wrong. I don't know. But my understanding is that the group that Keanu Reeves' character is essentially part of is called the Continental, which is a group of hitmen. Am I right about that, Alan?
No, the Continental is the Continental is the hotel. Basically, Basically, the Continental is safe ground. You as soon as you go in there, it doesn't matter if you have a gun pointed at Hitler. No work is done. No violence, no fighting. You walk in, you're all on the same page. Basically, it's a way to deal with situations because a lot of the assassins and hitmen here, they almost act as bodyguards, like top tier bodyguards to the rich and famous, to people of power. The thing is you can't have them gunning each other in the hotel. So like, hey, let's say we got to negotiate between these two, warring parties. This is the safe ground. This is Sweden. This is neutral territory. The moment you take a step out, guns fucking firing, fight in the streets. Who cares? Just not on continental ground.
Wow. Okay. Well, that makes sense then. But yeah, because I don't even know what the group is called. I see that's how you guys can tell that I don't know shit about this stuff. But
I don't think they have a particular name. If they did, I don't remember off the top of my head. But they're basically just assassins.
Yeah, but I guess the show though is actually going to be about the character Winston, and once again, I think that's the character I showed over here. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know, but like, who the fuck is Winston, and why is that important enough to have a show based on it?
The thing about Winston, as far as his thing, because he basically helped discover John Wick. He helped train him. He basically, we found him, and that's why they work so closely together over the trilogy. You can do a lot with that character because he started off as an assassin and became the head of the head of one of the hotels. So it gives you a chance to really build this world up where it's like, hey, how did this all start? What's the history of it? How do the rules work? Because I like John Wick because of the action scenes, but like I love the world. I know Marlo is so dumb if you think about it. I'm like, not really. Instead of a world full of superheroes, it's a world full of assassins. Everyone has their own particular ways, from knives to guns to various kinds of guns to suits. There's tailors that make all these weapons, that make all these outfits, and it's like, yeah, how does this kind of work? How do the coins work? Like, how do you get one? How do you start? What's the training? Like, there's a lot you could do with this. I'm not saying this has to be a 20 fucking season show, but you could easily get 3-4 seasons out of just this character and then developing other characters. Like, again, the other guy in there, his friend, I call him the black guy from Lost, even though I know him for 15 different fucking movies. He's there too, and they're close. So it's like, yeah, you could develop how did that friendship start?
Yeah, no, that's true. You can definitely do that. I'm wondering too, though. So essentially, what this is going to be, 90 minutes per episode, only be 3 episodes. Do you feel like people like The Purge? Because like The Purge is another show that was on USA Network. Do you think they're kind of kicking themselves in the foot right now, saying like, God damn it, like we would have wanted to do that. We would have fucking loved to do that instead of making these big ass theatrical movies and whatnot. Like,
theatrical movies make money now versus over time. The thing is, copying the Sherlock, the BBC version. Where it was every season was 3 episodes, and the episodes were an hour and a half, and there were movies. You watch one, and it's like certain details from one will carry over to the next one, but not necessarily. And they're their own movies, same structure of a movie. You start off with the conflict, climax, end of the movie, and then you go to the next episode. Them doing like that is fine because it gives them a chance to have a bit more of a budget. Because if you think about it, it's like, yeah, they're essentially 9 30-minute episodes. But the fact that they're essentially doing 3 movies, they can do the same arc as a movie. As much as I enjoy the world building, it's not super dense, so you don't have to sit there and like tell 15 hours of television to get it. You can do it in a movie, and yeah, they get a bigger budget to do better fight scenes. Because at the end of the day, it's like you're doing a John Wick story without John Wick. You better have the fight scenes there. Like, there's no lacking in this category.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. We'll see what happens. I mean, there's not really a whole lot for me to say as far as this goes because I haven't seen the movies. But I will say that like the conceptual idea of doing these things, which it's not the first time this happened, obviously, because of what Alan just said about the Sherlock stuff. But like, I do think that like, especially horror movies, you know how everyone's always wanted to do like, hey, Paranormal Activity 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. It's like, why not have just one story that's a season, tell all the world building shit that you want to do, and then just kind of come back and do that shit later, and then have that be the show that make a lot of money. I don't know. I feel like that's the thing.
No, because again, a TV show makes money over a year. A movie makes money in the weekend.
I mean, okay, yeah, you're right, but at the same time, it's like you look at. Not to bring it up again. Unfortunately, Mortal Kombat. It's like that probably should have been a show, or that should have been.
Oh, I 100% agree. They did have a show. That was series was fantastic, but. What again? It's at the end of the day, it's like I prefer superheroes on television than I do in the movies. But Captain Falcon and the Winter Soldier didn't make $1 billion every weekend. It made I don't even know how much it made honestly for Disney, probably a couple $100 million. But like again, the next Marvel movie is gonna make $1 billion in a weekend. It's like you can't fight those numbers. Do you make money later or do you make money now? People want to get paid.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing too. Is like you bring that up. Superman and Lois. That's the most I've known about Lois and so long. I mean, Superman's been around for fucking 50, 60 fucking years. And yet, this is my favorite Lois ever. And it's simple as, what's she doing at work? Oh, her boss is a dick? Okay, she quit? Okay, what's she doing over here? Blah, blah, blah. It's like, I love it. I care about Lois Lane. What the fuck? So, we'll see what happens.
Again, Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say. I mean, my wrapping up things. I'm just like, yeah, we'll see what happens with this. We're not gonna see. Who fucking knows? But what are you gonna say? I'm pretty sure it'd be more important.
No, I was just gonna agree with you. That's like, yeah, television lets you extend a story out longer than you can in a movie. I mean, we just watched Mortal Kombat, where it's like each one of those characters could have a fucking 45-minute episode easily with the history. But hey, when it comes to movies, you can only develop so much over the course of even a 2-hour movie. So I like the Snyder Cut, 4 hours. Got a lot out of it.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're absolutely right. But here's the thing, though, guys. I'm gonna get the fuck out of here though because Corey has started, and I guess my phone ringer was off. So, he called me 5 times. So I'm wondering how that's gonna turn out. But I got lots of stuff I gotta do. Tomorrow I'm gonna be doing 3 guys' jobs because everyone else has left me. So, what's gonna happen tomorrow? I'm not entirely sure if we're gonna do a post show. I'm gonna try to, and if I do, if you guys can, make sure to definitely tell Chris Herman to give us a rate tomorrow because that'll be great. And the reason why is because lots of topics that we're going to have today is going to move on to tomorrow. I know I put in the description, but guys, we're doing the review for Lake Mungo. That's all I'm going to say.
Look what?
Lake Mungo. Mungo or Mango? Mungo. I don't know how to say
Mango.
It. Mango. Yeah, there we go. That's what it should have been. That would have been way more fruitful than this fucking piece of shit. No, but that was good. Fuck you.
What was it? It was terrible.
But no, we're going to be talking about that, not to mention some video game news, and maybe even some video game playthroughs. I went through a bunch of shit trying to update this fucking Call of Duty shit, so we might actually be doing that tomorrow too. And Alan, obviously you're invited. I would love for you to play some Call of Duty with me. It'd be cool as fuck.
Oh, hell yeah.
So, yeah, guys, with that said, though, we're going to get the fuck out of here. Why don't you tell people to find you on that, Facebook property? Alrighty
then. So if you follow me on Facebook, I'm part of the Metropolis Collective. We literally just recorded an episode of The Illuminati, which should be up tomorrow because I'm literally going to upload it now. As far as other shows on there, the newest podcast literally did the episode like 7 hours ago. So be sure to check that out. It's still there. For your weekly dose of K-pop. There's all sorts of other stuff on there. We have a horror show right now that they reviewed. I think they reviewed the entirety of them. So be sure to check that out. The Horror Hole. But basically, just drop a like on there. You get when the episodes premiere. We actually have a schedule that we've been sticking to surprisingly well. So check that out.
Yeah, man. So with that said, guys, we're getting out of this motherfucker. Peace out. We love you so very much. Rating that particular person, I guess we will. We'll see. Man, Ryan, you better fucking show some goddamn appreciation. I hate it when I rate a motherfucker don't say nothing. It gets my goddamn nerves. Anyways, alright, boom. There it is. The rate is now happening. have us with that. Good night, everyone. Stay toasty. Had to chat. You guys know what it is. Bye-bye.